Hello everyone, my name is Kabir Abboud, and welcome to my first workout session video consisting of warm-up exercises, main workout exercises, and cool-down exercises. Each exercise serves as an important purpose as to why it is important to perform those kinds of exercises. In this video, I will be explaining for each exercise what muscles work out, why am I doing it, how many repetitions, and how to adjust any common mistakes. For my first warm-up exercise, I jogged for 5 minutes to get my body started and energized for the main workout of the session. Jogging is one of the best warm-up exercises to start off with every workout session because it helps boost your cardiovascular system and increase your aerobic activity to strengthen your endurance. For my second warm-up exercise, I skipped for 3 minutes to get my body active and energized for the main workout of the session. Skipping is a perfect warm-up exercise because it helps improve coordination, increases running speed, and boosts your cardiovascular system like jogging. For my third warm-up exercise, I did jumping jacks for 1 minute to get my body ready and energized for the main workout of the session. Jumping jacks are another perfect warm-up exercise because, like jogging and skipping, they boost your cardiovascular system, improve coordination, and strengthen your muscles such as chest, shoulders, quadriceps, and calves. I did 20 repetitions of arm circles in each direction in this first dynamic stretch exercise. I am doing this exercise because arm circles work on toning the muscles in the shoulders and arms specifically on the triceps and biceps. These targeted muscles will be used in our main workout of the session. A common mistake is performing arm circles with your shoulders internally rotated and your thumbs down, which can cause impingement and discomfort. To fix it, make sure you have your palms facing down or each other. In this second dynamic stretch exercise, I did 10 repetitions of arm swings on each side. I am doing this exercise because arm swings are a great dynamic stretching exercise that warms up and stretches the shoulders, arms, and chest, which the muscles will be used in our main workout of the session. A common mistake is having your arms swinging diagonally rather than horizontally, which would not target more in the chest muscles. To fix it, have your arms raised horizontally as you swing them sideways. In this third dynamic stretch exercise, I did 10 repetitions of arm raises. I am doing this because not only do arm raises stretch the back and shoulder muscles, but also increase shoulder mobility, range of motion, and stability. A common mistake is swinging your arms up rather than raising them. To fix it, control your arms and slowly raise them up without using any momentum. In this fourth dynamic stretch exercise, I did 10 repetitions of leg swings on each leg. I am doing this exercise because leg swings stretch the calf, quadricep, and hamstring muscles and prepare your ankles and feet for the coming activities. A common mistake is not opening your legs enough to stretch all the leg muscles. To fix it, swing your legs all the way from the left to the right for a great range of motion to stretch all the leg muscles. In this fifth dynamic stretch exercise, I did 10 repetitions of lunge rotations on each leg. I am doing this exercise because the lunge rotations engage multiple groups, which are the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, and are great warm-ups for yoga poses. A common mistake is moving too fast with lunge rotations. To fix it, start out slow and controlled for each lunge you perform until you develop a proper form to be able to increase your speed gradually. In this last dynamic stretch exercise, I did 10 repetitions of hand walks. I am doing this exercise because it targets all the shoulders and stretches the legs, glutes, and lower back, making it one of the best dynamic stretches of all time. A common mistake is walking your arms out too far to the point where your shoulders and hips tend to drop down. To fix it, walk your arms out until they reach between your head. In this first bench press variation, I did 10 repetitions of flat barbell bench press. I am doing it to build and strengthen the chest and shoulder muscles. A common mistake is not using a proper arch. A slight arch in the lower back can help stabilize the shoulders and improve power, but an excessive arch can lead to poor form and lower back strain. To fix this, maintain a natural arch in your lower back. In this second bench press variation, I did 10 repetitions of close gripped barbell bench press. I am doing it to build and strengthen the chest and triceps muscles. A common mistake is incorrect hand placement. Placing your hands too close together or too far apart can lead to poor form and increase strain on your wrists and shoulders. To fix this, your hands should be placed closer together than in a standard bench press, but still at a comfortable and controlled width. In this third bench press variation, I did 10 repetitions of incline barbell bench press. I am doing it to build strengthen the chest and shoulder muscles. A common mistake is an incomplete range of motion. Not lowering the barbell to your chest or not fully extending your arms at the top of the lift can reduce the exercise effectiveness. To fix this, ensure you perform a full and controlled repetitions through the entire range of motion. In this third squat variation, I did 10 repetitions of neutral stance back squat. I am doing it to build and strengthen quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calf muscles. A common mistake is improper foot placement. The feet should be shoulder width apart with toes pointing forward or slightly turned out. To fix this, avoid excessive toe out angles as it can place undue stress on the knees and hip joints. In this second squat variation, I did 10 repetitions of wide stance back squat. I am doing it to build and strengthen quadriceps and glute muscles. The common mistake is leaning too far forward. Leaning too far forward during the squat can place extra stress on the lower back and increase the risk of injury. To fix this, maintain an upright torso with your chest up to keep the movement safe. In this third squat variation, I did 10 repetitions of narrow stance back squat. I am doing it to build and strengthen quadriceps, hamstrings, and glute muscles. The common mistake is having your knees caved in. Allowing the knees to collapse inward during the squat can lead to knee strain and instability. To fix this, keep your knees in line with your feet or slightly pushed outwards during the descent and ascent. In this first shoulder press variation, I did 10 repetitions of seated dumbbell shoulder press. I am doing it to build and strengthen shoulder and tricep muscles. The common mistake is flaring elbows. Flaring your elbows out to the sides can place an excessive stress on the shoulder joints. Keep your elbows slightly in front of your shoulders and maintain a controlled range of motion. In this second shoulder press variation, I did 10 repetitions of seated dumbbell one arm shoulder press. I am doing it to build and strengthen shoulder and triceps muscles. The common mistake is neglecting balance. You have to maintain balance by keeping your non-working arm close to your body and your non-working leg planted firmly on the floor. Avoid overreaching with your non-working arm or lifting your arm non-working leg. In this third shoulder press variation, I did 10 repetitions of seated dumbbell or alternating shoulder press. I am doing it to build and strengthen shoulder and triceps muscles. The common mistake is rotating incorrectly. The unique aspect of alternate shoulder press is the rotational component. However, some people rotate it too early in the movement, which can place strain on the shoulder joints. Rotate when your arms are at eye level, not before. In this first lunge variation, I did 10 repetitions of dumbbell regular lunges. I'm doing it to build and strengthen quadriceps, hamstrings, and glute muscles. The common mistake is having your knees go over your toes. Be mindful of your front knee position. Your front knee position should not extend beyond your toes as it places an excessive stress on the knee joint. Keep the front knee behind the toes to protect your knees. In this second lunge variation, I did 10 repetitions of dumbbell reverse lunges. I am doing it to strengthen quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calf muscles. The common mistake is lunging too far backward. To fix this, be careful not to step too far backward as it can cause you to lose balance and may not engage the legs muscles effectively. In this third lunge variation, I did 10 repetitions of rear foot elevated lunges. I am doing it to strengthen the quadriceps, the hamstrings, and the glute muscles. The common mistake is an unstable rear foot placement. An unstable, slippery surface can lead to balance issues and potential injury. To fix this, ensure that the rear foot is placed securely on the bench or platform. In this first dip variation, I did 10 repetitions of pronated grip bench dips. I am doing it to build and strengthen triceps muscles. The common mistake is not fully extending the arms. To engage the triceps effectively, make sure to fully extend your arms at the top of the movement. Failing to do so can limit the exercise effectiveness. In this second dip variation, I did 10 repetitions of supinated grip bench dips. I am doing it to build and strengthen tricep muscles. The common mistake is bending the elbows too much. At the bottom of the dip, your elbows should be bent to about 90 degrees or slightly less. Avoid bending your elbows too deeply as it can place excessive strain on the shoulder joints. In this third dip variation, I did 10 repetitions of neutral grip bar dips. I am doing this to build and strengthen the tricep and chest muscles. The common mistake is leaning forward. Avoid leaning too forward during the dip, as it can place extra stress on the shoulders and limit the engagement of the triceps and chest. Keep your body as upright as possible. In this first deadlift variation, I did 10 repetitions of conventional deadlift. I am doing it to strengthen and build hamstring and glute muscles. The common mistake is bouncing the weight plate. Dropping and bouncing the weight plate off the ground can lead to poor form and reduce the effectiveness of the exercise. Lower the weight plate with control for each repetition. In this second deadlift variation, I did 10 repetitions of Romanian deadlifts. I am doing it to build and strengthen hamstring and glute muscles. The common mistake is lifting the plate too far from the body. The plate should move close to your body as you lower it. Keeping it close will help you maintain balance and prevent excessive strain on your lower body. In this third deadlift variation, I did 10 repetitions of single leg deadlifts. I am doing this to build and strengthen hamstring and glute muscles. The common mistake is bending the knee of the standing leg too much. While there should be a slight bend in the knee of the standing leg, it should not be overly bent. Avoid squatting down, focusing on hinging at the hips. In this first pull-up variation, I did 10 repetitions of pronated grip pull-ups. I am doing this to build and strengthen the back and bicep muscles. The common mistake is using momentum. Swinging or using momentum to lift your body can reduce the effectiveness of the exercise and increase the risk of injury. Focus on controlled and deliberate movements. In this second pull-up variation, I did 10 repetitions of wide grip pull-ups. I'm doing this to build and strengthen back muscles. The common mistake is not fully extending arms at the bottom. Failing to fully extend your arms at the bottom of each repetition can place an excessive strain on your shoulders and elbows. Ensure your arms are straight at the bottom before initiating the next rep. In this third pull-up variation, I did 10 repetitions of neutral grip pull-ups. I am doing it to build and strengthen back and bicep muscles. The common mistake is starting with the shoulder up by the ears. Avoid shrugging your shoulders as you start the pull-up. This can lead to an excessive neck and shoulder tension. Keep your shoulders relaxed and down. In this first calf raise variation, I did 10 repetitions of seated calf raises. I am doing it to build and strengthen calf muscles. The common mistake is neglecting eccentric movements. The eccentric phase of the movement is important. Control the weight as you lower your heels, as this is when the calf muscles are under tension. In this second calf raise variation, I did 10 repetitions of single leg calf raises. I am doing it to build and strengthen calf muscles. The common mistake is using excessive speed. Performing single leg calf raises too quickly can reduce the time under tension for the calf muscles. Control the movement and use a steady, controlled pace. In this third calf raise variation, I did 10 repetitions of wall calf raises. I am doing it to build and strengthen calf muscles. The common mistake is not using proper foot angle. Adjust the angle of your foot to target different parts of the calf muscles. To emphasize the inner calf, turn your toes inward for the outer calf and turn your toes outward. In the first bicep curl variation, I did 10 repetitions of standing bicep curls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the bicep muscles. The common mistakes is bending the wrist. Keep your wrists straight throughout the movement. Bending the wrist can strain the joints and reduce the effectiveness of the curl. In this second bicep curl variation, I did 10 repetitions of incline kettlebell bicep curls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the bicep muscles. The common mistake is using an inconsistent tempo. Maintain a consistent tempo when performing incline kettlebell bicep curls. Avoid jerky or erratic movements. In this third bicep curl variation, I did 10 repetitions of kneeling alternate kettlebell bicep curls. I'm doing it to build and strengthen the bicep muscles. The common mistake is not engaging the target muscle. Focus on feeling the contraction in your biceps rather than just moving the weight. Concentrate on the mind muscle connection to ensure you're working the intended muscle group. In this first good morning variation, I did 10 repetitions of standing kettlebell good mornings. I am doing it to build and strengthen the glute and hamstring muscles. The common mistake is rounding the back. The most crucial mistake is to avoid rounding your back during the movement. Keep your spine in a neutral position, maintaining a slight natural arch in the lower back. Rounding the back can place unnecessary strain on the spine and increase the risk of injury. In this second good morning variation, I did 10 repetitions of single leg kettlebell good mornings. I am doing it to build and strengthen the glute and hamstring muscles. The common mistake is our poor balance and stability. This exercise challenges balance, especially in the single leg version. Neglecting balance and stability can lead to wobbly and loss of form. Use a support or hold on to something if you're struggling with balance initially. In this third good morning variation, I did 10 repetitions of seated kettlebell good mornings. I am doing it to build and strengthen the glute and hamstring muscles. The common mistake is hinging at the hips. While a hip hinge is a key part of this exercise, excessively hinging at the hips can put undue stress on the lower back. Maintain control and avoid overextension. In this first row variation, I did 10 repetitions of feet elevated TRX inverted rolls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the back and bicep muscles. The common mistake is over elevating the feet. Raising your feet too high can make the exercise more challenging, but it can also compromise form. It's important to find the height that allows you to maintain proper alignment and perform the exercise with good technique. In this second row variation, I did 10 repetitions of TRX single arm rolls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the back and bicep muscles. The common mistake is not fully extending the arm. At the bottom of the roll, Fully extend your arm to get a full range of motion and engage the upper back muscles effectively. In this third row variation, I did 10 repetitions of TRX row fly combo. I am doing it to build and strengthen the back and bicep muscles. The common mistake is sagging at the hips. Allowing your hips to sag during the exercise can place unnecessary stress on the lower back and reduce the effectiveness of the combo. Maintain a straight line from head to heels. In this first hamstring curl variation, I did 10 repetitions of TRX hamstring curls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the hamstring muscles. The common mistake is insufficient suspension height. Setting the TRX straps too high can make the exercise easier but may compromise form. Adjust the straps to the height that allows your body to be in this position when your feet are in the foot cradles. In this second hamstring curl variation, I did 10 repetitions of TRX single leg hamstring curls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the hamstring muscles. The common mistake is lifting hips too high. Conversely, lifting your hips too high during the movement can place more stress on the lower back and reduce hamstring engagement. Focus on lifting your hips just enough to maintain a straight body line. In this third hamstring curl variation, I did 10 repetitions of TRX alternating hamstring curls. I am doing it to build and strengthen the hamstring muscles. The common mistake is not fully flexing the knees. To effectively target the hamstrings, make sure to fully flex your knees and curl the TRX straps towards your glutes. Incomplete knee flexion reduces the effectiveness of the exercise. In this first static stretch exercise, I did a chest stretch for 45 seconds on each side. I am doing this exercise to stretch off my chest muscles after doing 3 variations of bench press. To do this, lie down with your chest on the floor, place one arm to the side with your elbow just above your shoulder line, and with your other arm, gently push your chest off the floor, feeling the stretch in the chest of your extended arm, and then perform this stretch on each arm for 45 seconds. In this second static stretch exercise, I did a shoulder and tricep stretch for 45 seconds. I am doing this exercise to stretch off the shoulder and triceps muscles after doing 3 variations of shoulder press and 3 variations of dips. To do this, place your arms behind your head, bend them, and stretch your arms off as you try to touch your upper back. In this third static stretch exercise, I did a back stretch for 45 seconds on each side. I am doing this exercise to stretch off my back muscles after doing 3 variations of pull-ups and 3 variations of rows. To do this while kneeling, place one arm in front of your body and place the other arm as far away from your center line. Then gently press your extended armpit towards the floor and perform this stretch on each arm. In this fourth static stretch exercise, I did a supine knee to chest stretch for 45 seconds on each leg. I am doing this exercise to stretch off my glute muscles after doing 3 variations of good mornings. To do this, lie down on the floor, bend your knee as you raise up to your chest, and hold on for 45 seconds on each side. In this fifth static stretch exercise, I did a bicep stretch for 45 seconds. I am doing this exercise to stretch off my bicep muscles after doing 3 variations of bicep curls. To do this, place your arms behind your back, extend your arms outward, and lean forward to feel the most bicep stretch you can. In this 6 static stretch exercise, I did a quadricep stretch for 45 seconds on each leg. I am doing this exercise to stretch off my quadricep muscles after doing 3 variations of squats and 3 variations of lunges. To do this, stand on one leg, pull the heel on your other leg up to your glutes, and keep a tall posture and open hinge angle, and perform the stretch on each leg. In this 7th static stretch exercise, I did a hamstring stretch for 45 seconds on each leg. I am doing this exercise to stretch off my hamstring muscles after doing 3 variations of deadlifts and 3 variations of hamstring curls. To do this, lie on your back, lift one leg by gently pulling your thigh towards your chest with your hands, a towel, or a strap. And finally, in this last static stretch exercise, I did a calf stretch for 45 seconds on each leg. I am doing this exercise to stretch off the calf muscles after doing 3 variations of calf raises. To do this, find a wall, place a foot on the wall, stretch the back leg muscle as you press it onto the wall, and keep the other leg straight and switch it to the other leg.